Radio Brockley, the UK's official #1 hospital radio station.
Hello and welcome to Brockley News, Radio Brockley's weekly show with news, interviews and information, including updates on all you need to know about what's happening in and around the hospital. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up tonight we'll hear some highlights from today's Stanmore Village Fete, which took place down the road earlier on today. We'll hear some of the event organisers and some of the stall holders. We'll also hear from Geraldine Gower from the Disability Foundation based here in the hospital. And we'll hear from Rebekah Ahmed from the RNOH charity, who'll be telling us about next week's Buttercup Walk. Plus, we'll also be hearing from the host of Mastermind, Radio 4's John Humphrys. Then at 7:30, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies without leaving your bed on Bedside Bingo. David Rauch will be calling out the numbers. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show, tonight hosted by our new trustee, Emma O'Connor. So stay tuned to London's longest-running hospital radio station and the UK's official #1 hospital radio station. It's Radio Brockley. So earlier on today, the Stanmore Village Fete took place in Bernays Gardens here in Stanmore, with food, craft stalls, live entertainment and a dog show. The RNOH had a stall there, as did the Disability Foundation. One of the other charities, of course, are based in the hospital. Emma O'Connor and I went along to find out more. Well, with me now is Michelle, who is the coordinator of the Stanmore Fete today. Hi to you, Michelle.
Hi.
So, different location today from last year. Tell us the reasons behind that.
Well, originally it was in this location because the whole idea 5 years ago was the Fete was to raise money and awareness of this garden, which is a hidden garden. So it's Bernays Gardens, which as you can see is quite old, and it was to try and get people to come and start using it because it was actually in a bit of disrepair. So 5 years ago, the Stanmore Society decided to raise awareness and do a Fete. The reason I've got involved is actually it was started by my mum, Lynn Kay, who's getting a bit too old now to do it, so I've taken over from her.
Well, I must admit, I've grown up in Stanmore, and up until this Stanmore Fete started a few years ago, I'd never heard of Bernays Gardens before. So for anyone else who's local who's thinking, oh, where's that? Can you describe where it is?
Yeah, it's opposite what used to be Crazy London, then Crazy Horse, Preston Bennett, near just down from Domino's in Stanmore, and quite near St John's Church. So if you go between Domino's and St John's Church, you'll find it behind that wall, if you ever wondered what that old wall was.
And what has been done to Bernays Gardens in the last few years then?
I think they've cleared a lot of rubbish, cut back the trees, they've just been planting. So you've got the Bernays Gardens community group that started this about a year ago, who've been in here every day or practically, and they've planted sustainable things. Because the one issue that we still have for his gardens is there's no natural water supply. So they can't do anything that isn't hard and going to survive without lots of water. Although I have to say in this country,
I was going to say, there's plenty of natural water supply today, unfortunately, just when we didn't want it. But anyway,
yeah.
So tell us what's involved in pulling all of this Stanmore Fete together. There must be a huge amount of work goes into it.
I was actually with my husband last night, and we reckon I'd put in 1,000 hours.
Wow.
On about 3 hours a day for the last year. Basically, it's trying to coordinate everybody together, getting the sponsorship, which we've got some fantastic sponsors this year from local businesses. I'm not going to name them, they're in our programme because I will leave somebody out and I don't want to upset people. And then just getting hold of people that were going to do this without us having to pay for them. So everybody here is either paid for a stall or is going to give us a share of their profit. So we actually have not paid for anything apart from the public liability in this park.
I know you're not going to mention all the individual stalls, but tell us some of the other highlights that are coming up today at Stanmore Fete.
Right, we have a dog show going on, which I will mention because I'm from Blythewood. We have entertainment, we have stagecoach and technical dance and people who are doing, and a new local choir. So there's hopefully next round up there's a thing. We have just lots and lots of different stalls, from children's stalls to arts and crafts to a barbecue done by St John's Church, who've been very much involved this year. And the biggest thing which you can hear in the background, the other bit and the major thing is to try and repair those lovely bells, that one of them is nearly 400 years old.
Wow, and I remember from a few years ago we went up to that bell tower and got amazing views all over Stanmore, so we may well do that again.
Yep, people can come down, and actually it's the only time of the year that they can come and climb the tower and also see the ruins.
For anyone who's been listening to this and thought, I wish I could have got along to support it, are there other ways that people can support what you're doing here in Stanmore?
Yeah, we have a specialist website which is www.stanmorefete.co.uk. If it's going to continue, and we would like it to be, we need young people involved. So we really need people. So please, there's a contact form on there. Please put your name down and come, and hopefully next year will be even bigger and better.
And what sort of help would you be looking for from these young people?
People to help with organisation, especially on the day, because there's a lot. That is the biggest thing. There's not enough people setting up. People to go and get sponsorship. People to do admin. I'm a full-time teacher, head of faculty, so to do this sort of hours plus I do all this for school is just impossible.
Super. Well, we're going to go around and have a look at some of the stalls now. Michelle, thank you very much, and well done for today.
Thank you very much.
So I'm here with Tony. Tony, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name's Tony Finkel. I'm the District Governor for Rotary in London, which is District 1130, but I'm also a member of the Rotary Club of Edgware and Stanmore. We have been over the years great supporters of the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital. In fact, as we were just speaking, we helped by providing money to help you set up your then newish radio office and to purchase new, more modern equipment. And I understand that another member of ours, Nandini, and her grandchildren run a stall at your Fete regularly over the years, and will be doing so again this year.
Yes, that's the Buttercup Walk. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, I think so. You were also asking about the lavender bags. We have purple lavender bags on sale to actually support our End Polio Now campaign. Rotary was at the beginning of the campaign to eradicate polio around the whole world. We are in partnership with the United Nations, World Health Organization, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Everything that Rotary raises, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation triples. So the £1 for a lavender bag becomes £3. So everything is tripled, and we're delighted to say that polio now is recognised as being 99.9% eradicated from the world. We are on the final stretch, and they're talking about polio finally being eradicated by 2018. And lots of Rotarians around the world have worked very, very hard for that to happen.
I'm now chatting with Sandra Grant, who is from the Stanmore Bowls Club. Hello to you, Sandra.
Hello.
So tell us a little bit more about the Bowls Club. Firstly, where it's based and when you meet up.
Yes, the Bowls Club is in Stanmore Park in Dennis Lane in Stanmore, and it's open for about 6 months of the year in the summer, and we play every day, and it's really a lovely, friendly club, a mixed club, and it's very nice. We have lots of social events as well, very friendly, and it's great. I would recommend it to anybody to come along and try. I think the coaching is free. See how they get on. They can always lend people a set of bowls to see if they like it, and it's really nice. We enjoy it.
I must admit, I have played bowls before. My granddad taught me how to play bowls. It's not easy, is it? How long does it take people to get to a good enough standard, would you say?
It does look a lot easier than actually, but it's very skillful. I think I must have had maybe 4 or 5 lessons, coaching lessons, and then I try, but you're learning all the time. It's like any sport. We all have good days and bad days, but it's always a lot of fun. I always hear 2 more members of our Bowls Club.
Oh, we've got extra people joining us here. So just give us an idea of, firstly, is it quite competitive, or if people just want to come for a social, is that okay?
You can do either. When there are competitions, then yes, then we are quite competitive. You think you're not until you're in a competition. You think, right, I'm really going to do my best here. But it's always a lot of fun, and you can come along and just try. We have what they call a roll-up. Just take a ticket, a number, play for an hour, then there's a break for a cup of tea and a biscuit, sometimes a choc ice if they want that. Then we play for another hour. It's lovely. And then we all pack up and go home. So it's very relaxing.
It does sound brilliant. What sort of competitions do you have then? Do people need to commit sort of more than one day a week, or can they choose how much they want to get involved?
The more you come, the better qualified you'll be. But if you want to come once a week, it's absolutely fine. I think I did that for a while. And then once I was more confident, then I started entering competitions, and it's always a lot of fun.
So these competitions, are these against sort of other neighbouring towns and boroughs and stuff?
It can be other bowls clubs within the area or the other counties. We have inter competitions within our own club as well. But matches are with other clubs, and it's great. It really is.
And dare I ask, how is Stanmore doing in the league of local bowls clubs?
Well, not bad at all. Yes, we're holding our own, I'm pleased to say. So that's very nice. Yes.
That's excellent. So, and what happens as well during the winter months? I mean, do you go and play indoor bowls, or do you just have a break from it for a few months?
Well, Stanmore Bowls is only a summer event, but people do join indoor clubs to play. But it's quite a different game. It's a different skill. So a lot of people do both.
I was going to say, indoor bowls takes a lot less effort, doesn't it? A lot less oomph. So it takes a while to adjust backwards and forwards.
That's right, it does, because you know where the wood is going, because the green is always the same. But that's why I like the challenge of the grass, because it's different every time we play. If it's raining, it's different as well, and it's fun.
And bowls has got a lot more popular in recent years because they're showing it a lot more on the telly and stuff.
It's
so
an
are you finding
Olympic sport? Yes.
Yes, exactly. So are you finding more younger members coming across now?
Well, it would be very nice, but a lot of younger people are working, so it's mainly retired, isn't it? So at the moment it seems more retired people.
But open to everyone.
Absolutely, yes.
So how can people find out more information about you?
How can we find? Well, we're here at the Fete, and is there a phone number on here? Oh, there's a website, www.stanmorebowls.com.
Excellent.
And that will tell us all any new members about the club and its activities. So that's www.stanmorebowls.com.
Super. Well, I hope you get plenty of interest, and I hope we continue to climb the local league.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Nice chatting to you.
So I'm here with Clifford. Hi, Clifford.
Hello, Emma.
And you're here from Radiate, is that correct?
Yes, I'm here from Radiate Harrow, which is a community-based organisation in Harrow. We help vulnerable people in the community, homeless people, people that suffer from isolation, lack of confidence. We run groups and classes in motivation and self-confidence. We offer one-to-one therapy and stuff, and our main aim is to get people back reintegrating into the community in Harrow and leading better lives.
So Radiate helped you in the past, and now are you part of helping other people who come to Radiate? Is that?
Yes, I am. I actually volunteer at Radiate. I'm in the process now of doing courses on drugs and alcohol. I had a serious alcohol problem, of which I'm currently recovering from, and I wish to help other people in the community in Harrow in whichever way I can, basically.
And just tell us about your stall, because I was very much drawn to this lovely colourful stall with amazing clocks here.
Yeah, the clocks played a massive part in my recovery from addiction to alcohol. It gave me focus, concentration back, and I take a great sense of pride, and it fills me with pride to make the clocks, as they start from old records that nobody wanted, basically things that people were going to throw away, and I and my colleagues turn them into works of art, and we make clocks out of them, working clocks. They keep perfect timing. We also make bowls out of vinyl, but they're all made from old 45s or old LPs. I spray them, colour them, make images on them, and they're very popular with the public. And Emma's promised to buy one.
I haven't promised, but I'm very interested in the Jimi Hendrix clock that you've got there. Do you want to describe how you made that one?
Well, that is basically done with hand crafting tool. The shape of it is of his hair, of his head, with a stenciled image of Jimmy's face and a blue set of hands. And I'm very proud of that one because I made that from start to finish. And it gives me a great sense of achievement to know that something that started off as basically a bit of old plastic that somebody was going to chuck into a dustbin can be considered a work of art. It's a very fulfilling, and they all tell a story.
Yeah.
They all tell a story. They play a big part in my life now. I'm very proud of what I've done with them, and I'm very proud of Radiate, what it's done for me, and I'm very proud to be representing them here today.
Well, I'm joined now by a friend of Radio Brockley, Geraldine Gower from the Disability Foundation, who's got a stall here as well. How's everything going at TDF at the moment?
We're very busy there, treating clients who come on a regular basis and those clients who are new to the charity. Hopefully everybody has the treatment that they benefit from.
Well, so tell us about some of these treatments that you offer to people, for anyone who's not heard of TDF before.
We offer complementary therapies to anybody with a disability. The disability, Alan, I'm sure you know that a disability sometimes is visible, so it could be somebody in a wheelchair or perhaps somebody who is blind, but a disability doesn't have to be visible. It could be somebody with an invisible disability such as a depression, and disabilities can also be temporary and disabilities can be permanent, and we like to believe that we open our treatments to everybody who could benefit from some touch, some respite, and the therapies that we offer are holistic, so that we're treating the whole body. You asked me the type of therapies that we offer, and we offer acupuncture, we offer osteopathy, we offer Reiki, which is non-touch. We offer craniosacral therapy, which is taking off. Quite a lot of people are repeat clients for that treatment.
And can you explain what that is? Because it's not one I'm so familiar with, I must admit.
Yeah. It's really beneficial from an infant to anybody who is much older, and it works with the fluid around the brain and re-establishing the alignment of the body within the body itself. We offer massage, and massage we offer Indian head massage, sports massage, aromatherapy massage, which is with the oils, Thai yoga massage, which is working with the body on a one-to-one in yoga postures.
I think everyone benefits from massage, don't they? I mean, I can't believe there's anyone listening to this who wouldn't love a massage. So it's open to everyone, isn't it, really?
We have no barriers at all. We have no age barrier, no ethnic barrier, no barrier for males, female. Anybody can come to benefit from a treatment. Did I say that a lot of the treatment is also the social activity of sitting in the waiting room there talking to other people? Is a benefit of touch, because you have one-to-one therapies in a private treatment room with a therapist, an experienced therapist.
A lot of people may be thinking, well, I've got some sort of pain, but I don't really know what therapy is the best for me. So what would happen if they were to walk into TDF for the first time?
We would welcome them. Treatments could be temporary, and why not give it a try? It may work for you, may not work for you, but isn't it worth a try? And if you found something that benefits you, you've got a win on your hands. In terms of payment, because a lot of people ask me, we membership costs £20 for the year, so everybody will need to pay a £20 membership. But after each treatment, we only ask for a donation. Most people offer us in the region of £20, which covers our couch rolls, our oils, the time of our therapist, and we hope that that's really good value for your donation.
And I should really stress as well that, I mean, you are a charity, aren't you? You rely on donations and volunteers. So how can people support the charity?
By booking a treatment and coming for respite, touch, an hour's massage, offering us a donation. We try our best to collect whatever we can because we are not government funded at all. So at the moment we have shelves outside our centre filled with second-hand books. People come in, take a book, pop a donation into our glass collection tins, or bring us new books. A lot of our clients bring us plants. We're doing quite well with plants, and a lot of our clients are gardeners, so they take the plants. So to help us with that initially is great. To give us a donation would be more than welcome. To give us a donation over and above what covers our costs would be very welcome. But everybody we would like to treat as many people as we can.
And just finally, just so that anyone can find you, whereabouts in the hospital are you based?
It's a really good question. You need to come in through the Warren Lane entrance, and you'll find us in the Louis Fleischmann building, which is in the same place as orthotics. We do have leaflets and maps, and we are known at outpatients, so please just ask for one of our leaflets, or you can find us at the Warren Lane entrance.
Brilliant. Well, I can personally recommend, because I've benefited from the treatments myself.
That's wonderful, Alan. It's been a delight to speak to you today.
Brilliant to speak to you. I should probably let you get back to your stall, but good luck.
So it's been busy there today.
I can see. I know I've had to queue for ages to speak to you. Good luck anyway.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Jane, and you're from Stagecoach, right?
That's right.
Could you just tell us what happened here today with Stagecoach? What did Stagecoach perform for the fair?
Of course. Well, firstly, I was part of the committee that organised today, so I've been the entertainment coordinator. So we've had Find Your Voice Choir perform on our little grassy stage, followed by a Stagecoach Stanmore themselves, and we did a dance and we sang along with Find Your Voice Choir. And then we've sung Zero to Hero from Hercules. So it's been a busy day, and we've just had a meditation class, and we're going to have technical dancing later. So it's a really busy little programme of entertainment.
Zero to Hero is like literally one of my favourite songs. I absolutely love Hercules. What kind of prompted you to do that?
It's our singing teacher's choice. She's American, so she loves a good show tune, and she's really trying to encourage them singing in really complex harmonies at the moment, and they're doing really, really, really well. And this is a great opportunity for them to kind of practice what they're learning at Stagecoach every week. And it's in a nice kind of calm and community environment, so I think that's kind of appropriate than sticking them straight on a stage and terrifying them and taking all that technique and confidence away. So this kind of day is really important actually for their ongoing confidence boosting.
Excellent. And could you just describe what exactly happens at Stagecoach? So it's dance, acting and singing, is that?
So all three disciplines. So the 4 to 6 year olds do a 90-minute class every Saturday. There's 4 different time slots, and they do half an hour of singing, half an hour of dance and half an hour of drama. Every term they work towards something, so a show, or sometimes we do a filming project. And the main stages do an hour of each discipline, so they rotate round in their age groups. And we also have further stages now, so that's 14 plus who do an intense class, 3 hours, and they work towards a special project. So they've done a writing project, they did the show 13, which is a Broadway musical. And then we've just opened a mini stages class, which is 2 to 4 year olds, and they do a much more condensed version of their classes with their parents. So it's a really lovely bonding opportunity and a lovely quiet moment in a busy week where the mums and daughters or mums and dads or whoever wants to come along, come and sing some silly songs and go on a journey. So currently our 6-week programme is going on a journey through space.
Well, I'm joined now by someone who's no stranger to Radio Brockley. In fact, you'll hear him later on this evening. It's Keith Reeve. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, Alan.
It's a bit soggy, isn't it?
It is. It's thankfully stopped raining now. It was torrential earlier on. It's a little bit wet and squidgy underfoot, but it's dry and it's looking like it's getting brighter. So fingers crossed.
Now, when you attend these events, you often have many different duties, not just your duties with Radio Brockley, of which there are many, but in this case you're here as part of the RNOH volunteers, and in particular you're talking about something which has just been launched within the hospital. So tell us a bit more about it.
Well, it's about to be launched. We're hoping to launch it on the 4th of July, and the service is a patient courtesy buggy. So in other words, golf buggies that can move our outpatients from the main gate to outpatients and to orthotics, because it's a big site, as most of our patients will know. Our patients are there because obviously they need medical treatment, and some people have disabilities in that respect, and getting from outpatients to orthotics or to the bus stop can be really difficult for them. So we're hoping to recruit a load of volunteer drivers from the local community who can drive our golf buggies around and pick up and drop off people around the site as they need to be.
This sounds like a lot of fun. I've never driven a golf buggy before, but I sound like I might have a go at that. So what qualifications do people need, if any, or can they just literally volunteer? But do they need to be able to drive?
Yes, they've got to have a full UK driving licence. That is one absolute minimum requirement. They obviously have to therefore be old enough to drive, so that obviously makes sense. They need to be polite and courteous and be available for half a day a week during the week, Monday to Friday. They can do more than half a day if they want. We will provide training, we will provide some clothing to keep them dry and warm in the winter and to make them visible. And I think it will be a lot of fun, actually.
Does sound like a lot of fun. So if anyone's interested in getting involved with this, what can they do?
They can contact the volunteer office at the RNOH, because we would love to hear from you. If you or maybe one of your relatives would like to take part in this, our phone number is 020 8909 5394, or simply email volunteering@rnoh.nhs.uk.
Well, best of luck with that, and cheekily, whilst I'm here, obviously we're sort of recruiting for Radio Brockley as well, aren't we? So if anyone's sort of interested in joining London's longest running hospital radio station, how do they go about it?
Well, they could contact the same details if they contact the volunteering office again, which is volunteering@rnoh.nhs.uk, or phone numbers 020 8909 5394. So yes, we've got the buggy service, we're getting up and running. We've got Radio Brockley, we've got ward hosts, we've got outpatients hosts as well. Anything you're interested in volunteering, get in touch. I'm sure we can find something for you to do at the RNOH.
There's a lot going on at the RNOH, and we certainly need your help. So do get in contact and find out more details. Keith, for now, thank you very much.
Cheers, Alan.
So I'm here with Ollie, and Ollie, you're in charge of the dog show, or you're involved in the dog show. Could you just tell me a bit about the dog show?
Yeah, so I'm from Blythewood Vets. We've got clinics in Stanmore, Hatch End, Bushy and Northwood, and we're running the dog show this year and have done the last 3 years at Stanmore. And we've just got mostly fun classes for people, so prettiest bitch, handsomest male, sausage catching, just really fun classes for all the family and the dogs.
And what kind of categories do you have for your dog show today? Is it like a big competition? Is it?
No, as I was saying, it's just for fun. So we've only got the 4 categories today, and it's about just having a good time. Really, we're not taking it too seriously.
And you've got Guess the Breed over there, I see.
Yeah, we've got some competitions on the stand. So if you guess the breed, you can win a toy. We've got Guess the number of bones in a pot for a prize in a raffle. Plenty of free samples, freebies on the table. That's about it.
I'm here at the Stanmore Fair with Rosanna. Rosanna, can you just tell me about this stall? It's really interesting and quite vibrant as well. I love the highlighter green that you've got going. Yeah. The theme that you've got going there.
Sure, we're the dance and party people. We specialise in dance and pop star parties, and the vibrant is bright green. It's kind of fun and funky and modern, and all the glitter that we're doing on the stall today, glitter tattoos, all the kids kind of love it, and it's one of the little extras we do at our dance and pop star parties as part of the kind of kids superstar makeovers.
That's really cool. I wish I had one of these parties when I was younger. What kind of things do you do at the parties, and where do you hold them? Is it in a specific venue, or is it roundabout?
At the parties, we kind of do lots of different packages. It's kind of all dance and pop star based, but we do kind of dance and pamper parties, dance and body art parties, dance and cupcake decorating parties, so a bit of everything. And the parties are a mixture in either in a hall venue of their choice, or actually more popular now is in people's homes because they don't have the cost of the venue, and it's something that can be done in a lounge kind of thing.
Oh, great. How would people find out about your pop star parties?
They can find us on Facebook, on facebook.com/The Dance and Party People, on our website, which is thedanceandpartypeople.co.uk. We do a lot of these, well, we're here today at Stanmore Fete. We kind of around, you'll probably see us at lots of parties around Hertfordshire and North London, so we're always there.
Well, with me now is one of our very own members of Radio Brockley, Arnold Brooks, who's actually been advertised as the Master of Ceremonies for today, and you might have seen his picture all over the place when the event's been advertised. So hello to you, Arnold.
Hi there. Well, it's certainly nice to be the other side of the microphone for a change, and the weather's been kind to us today, because when I came here this morning the weather was very poor, raining, and I thought, well, it's a shame all the effort that people put into it, it was going to be wasted, but we must be doing something right, because the weather's changed and we're all having a good time here.
We didn't speak too soon, but you're right, so far so good. Yeah. So how did you get involved with being the Master of Ceremonies for this event?
Well, I get the occasional email coming along from yourselves, and on one occasion it said that they might be looking for an MC, so I thought, well, being as I am a member of the society of the Radio Brockley, I thought it'd be a nice sort of just to come along and see a few other people from the hospital who are doing the same sort of thing that I am, so here I am.
And for those people who maybe haven't heard you on a Tuesday night before, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, have you done this sort of thing before?
Well, I don't normally talk about myself, but being as you asked, yes, I've been doing Toastmastering for about 15 years. I've been the president of the London Guild of Toastmaster and the past president of the Federation of Toastmasters. In 1953 I used to do vocal singing. I had my own trio which was called the Brooks Boys, and we did pantomime and summer season. And now that I've reached the ripe old age of 81, I've enjoyed everything that I've done, and I'm just sort of, another job that I do, which is a volunteer job, is I do meet and greet at Westminster Abbey, which is a great pleasure of mine once a week. And of course we're meeting people from all over the world, and you meet, it's wonderful. I'm getting to know all the different hellos in different languages. If you were Japanese, I say konnichiwa. If you were Spanish, I say ni hao. Chinese has just gone past my mind, I forgot that one. Or Portuguese is obligado. So I do have a lot of fun there and meet a lot of nice people like yourselves.
Well, do you know what? You could end up doing a show in lots of different languages. How good would that be?
Well, they'd have to hurry up. As I said, I just celebrated my 81st birthday.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe that. You don't look a day over 70. So.
Well, that's kind of you to say so. And to be honest with you, I don't feel a day over 70. But it's certainly nice to see my other colleagues wandering around with their microphones and doing their job so well as they always do.
Well, you're doing a grand job as well. Lovely to have you here with us today, Arnold, and good luck with the rest of it.
Okay, well, I shall be around till it ends at 4 o'clock and say my hellos and goodbyes, and look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next year.
I hope so. Is this where I tell you to pick out my raffle ticket later on?
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay, that's good.
You know, I've had a few offers already.
Yeah,
so
I bet you have.
They have to be pretty good,
okay.
Really.
I'll be in trouble now if it does get picked out, so it better not be.
Okay, well, you can always download it back.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Russell. Russell, could you just tell me a bit about your stall?
Yes, we're trying to show that it's a very big welcome up on Stanmore Hill. We have a huge building up there for our museum, and many people have never visited because it is out of sight. It's along a driveway, and once you get there, there's lovely people living in homes all around there, but the building itself is historic, and it has a long history of hundreds of years of occupation by the Earl of Abercorn and other famous people like Queen Adelaide. But the big moment came when the Air Force took over the building, and when the Air Force left, some brave people decided to make a museum, to turn empty rooms into a recollection of when it was a major part of our air defence, because in that building, Dowding, the famous Air Chief Marshal Dowding, set up the very first ground intercepted radar system where squadrons could go up and fight the Battle of Britain. And it was the nerve centre for all his decision making, which eventually led to the Luftwaffe giving up and not invading after all. So we enjoy taking people around. Children love it because it has a strange thing called a typewriter, a 1940s thing which they all want to ask where's the screen or how do you put in the paper, and to them it's such a great novelty. And we have a Spitfire they can sit in. It's a cockpit. If you push a button they can pretend they're flying and see all sorts of action and excitement. But the parents are mostly waiting for the tea shop where they can sit down and have a nice cup of tea and relax. But I love it because a lot of ex-Air Force people come up there and tell little stories of how wonderful it was during the war, the high pressure of work. They were generally entrusted with terribly difficult jobs. They're very proud of it. And I asked one lady what was the most difficult thing about the whole wartime experience, because I knew she'd been in a very, very busy room. She said, oh, it was going home afterwards. In the blackout, she said, Stanmore was completely blacked out. There was not a light anywhere. And one night I was quite sure somebody was following along behind me. But she said that was the one thing she remembered. But she made such friends. Comradeship was very strong. Because in Stanmore we had literally hundreds and hundreds of young people all working for the Air Force cause. So that's why I'm there. I just happen to enjoy it.
And I suppose the secretive nature of the positioning is not so good now because not many people would know about it. But back then, do you know whether it was chosen specifically because it was slightly hidden away? Is that why the location was placed in that particular part of Stanmore?
It is an ideal site. It was a big empty building, which is just what they needed. About 1936, they needed a large headquarters building which was vacant. It was ideal. It was fairly secretive because being among lovely groves of trees and up on the hill there, it was just one of those bland sort of country houses that could easily become a headquarters. And it expanded and became an enormous settlement. But during the war, it was well camouflaged and security was very strict. So I believe the enemy never quite cottoned on to the fact that it was the nerve centre.
And how long was it in operation as the nerve centre for the RAF?
Well, the key year was 1940-41, when we thought we were going to be invaded. But it remained right up until D-Day. It was a very important headquarters. The plotting of the D-Day movements was made in that building. And then after the war, it went through a whole range of changes. Different groups came and went until eventually about 1980s it began to peter out and the important buildings moved elsewhere. So it had a long history, but roughly 40 years of major use. I can't tell you who was there last of all because it was very, very modern and yeah.
And what kind of events do you have going on now? I know that you say people come and visit and have a look at the typewriters and other things like that, but do you hold any events, or do you have people coming to speak to you, past people that were in the RAF at the time? Would they be able to speak to members of the public, or?
Yes, we have a series of lectures on Friday afternoons. People expect to have a good talk by someone who was ex-Air Force, working with Battle of Britain veterans, Britain's finest hour, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. There are quite a few talks on. The one coming up soon is on the Polish Air Force, their contribution, how Poles and Czechs fought in the battle. So we do have talks, and we have a lot of school groups invited to come up. Often 30 or 40 children will be humming around the place, all excited. And about once or twice a year we do have an open day where the public are most welcome to come and have a look.
And Bentley Priory Museum, how would we find out about that? Do you have a website?
Yes, there is a website. I don't know it off by heart, but it says www.bentleypriorymuseum.org.uk.
Great, thank you very much for speaking to me, Russell. Thanks.
Good luck.
So we're here at the Stanmore Fair, and I'm joined now by Rebekah Ahmed, who's the Fundraising and Development Officer at the RNOH and is actually overseeing the Buttercup Walk, which is happening in the hospital in just a couple of weeks' time. So, Rebekah, what can you tell us? What can we expect?
Well, it's going to be a really exciting day. It always is. But this year we've got a gladiator joust, which I am incredibly excited about. It's for adults as well as kids, so if you've got some rage to get out, get up on there.
That sounds amazing. So how's that going to work then?
It's inflatable, so don't worry. No serious injuries will happen, not on my watch. But basically it's like a big inflatable ring, and two people get on a little ledge and bash each other with inflatable spears.
That sounds huge amounts of fun. You're going to have a long queue for that, I think.
Hopefully, yeah. But while you're doing that, you can also get on the crossbow stall. Equally as violent, but again, it's not actual crossbows, so don't worry. No volunteers will be harmed on the day.
We're not going for a violent theme then, is she?
No, not at all. It's all about good non-violent fun, but with some aggression thrown in.
Okay. So tell us about some of the other things people can look forward to apart from the walk itself.
We've got some great food coming along. We've got Luca Buca doing some wood-fired pizza, so you'll be able to get your very own mini pizza fired up in front of your eyes. Take about 2 minutes, and there you go. Some great cakes again this year. Some great Indian street food provided by our finance team. Hopefully you won't be going away hungry. There'll be the barbecue as always, and some great little stalls to get involved in. So come on up.
And you might have heard whilst we've been doing this interview that there are a number of dogs in the background, right on cue. I understand there's going to be a dog show at the Buttercup Walk as well.
Yeah, so this will be the second year running for the dog show, and it's run by Chris King, who's a past Crofts winner, and Jan Blue as well. So loads of really experienced people running the show. But yeah, bring your dog along on the day, just sign up, register, and you can enter them into as many classes as you like.
And Stagecoach are also going to be there on the day, aren't they?
Yes, we've got the performance troupe coming down from the Stanmore and Harrow Wheel Stagecoach troupe. So we're really excited about that. They've actually been at the Fete today, so if you've been here, you might have caught some of their performance. But if not, that's definitely something to look forward to.
And of course the walk itself, which for anyone who's not heard of the Buttercup Walk before, tell us a little bit about the history of that.
So the Buttercup Walk is a 1 mile sponsored walk that goes through our hospital grounds. It's a great day because mostly that's taken on by current and ex-patients, so it's really nice to kind of see them putting their all into it and giving back to the hospital. And it's also really lovely to be able to meet them and to hear their stories because everyone there has a fantastic story to tell. So it's also a really lovely day.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And for anyone who feels that maybe they can't do an entire mile, because it's mile long, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
For anyone who can't do a full mile, is there a sort of shorter version of the walk that they can do?
You're under no obligation at all to take on the full mile. If you'd like to take on a little bit of it, if you'd like to take on it onto the halfway point, or if you'd like to take the full mile on, that's completely up to you. We just really like to see as many people as possible there on the day.
And people can just turn up on the day? Do they have to register in advance or anything?
If you want to collect sponsorship, it's great if you can register in advance, and we can send you out a paper form to register on, or you can register on our website. So that's the RNOH charity website. But yep, you're absolutely free to sign up on the day. Just come to the registration desk and we'll take your details.
And this will be the first year that you're organising the Buttercup Walk, so how much of a challenge has it been for you?
It is my first year, yeah. It's definitely had its challenges in that I've not kind of known what I'm doing at some points, but I've got an amazing team behind me that are all incredibly experienced and all very, very happy to help, so that's taken a lot of pressure off. It's been really nice to have.
Well, it's always a great day. We're keeping our fingers crossed that the weather's going to hold off for us.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed for sun, doing all the rain dances, praying, everything possible.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to catching up with you on the day. Radio Brockley, of course, will be broadcasting the event live, as well as having highlights that later on that evening. So lots to look forward to, and we look forward to seeing you on the day.
Thanks very much. We'll look forward to seeing you too.
And finally, a voice you'll know well if you listen to Radio 4's The Today programme. It's Mr. Mastermind himself, John Humphrys. Our reporter Keith Reeve went along to grab a few words with him.
Well, I'm very pleased that legendary broadcaster John Humphrys has given me some of his special time this morning. Thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning, great pleasure.
And I've just got a few questions here, John. I'm sure you've been asked all of these before. You were raised in the delightfully named district of Cardiff called Splot.
Yeah, I was born in Splot. It's one of those places that sounds rather more ghastly than it was. It's a poor bit of Cardiff. Always has been a poor bit of Cardiff, certainly when I was born. But lively, and I have to say it wasn't a bad place to be brought up. I mean, in those days I was born when the war was still going on in 1943. And one of my memories is because we didn't have a shelter in our back garden, and Cardiff was being bombed quite a lot because of the docks and the steelworks and all that. And I used to get carried in a box when I was asleep at night to the local chemist shop, and they had a cellar, so we took refuge in the in the cellar. And that I've got a kind of tiny vague memory somewhere in the back of my head that really happened, but it probably didn't. At least I doubt that I remember it. It's just recovered memory, if you like.
That's a lovely story. So, I mean, your first roles were on local press, weren't they, before you got any national roles?
Yeah, I worked for a local newspaper. I left school at 15. Didn't like it, didn't like school, that is. Hated it, in fact. And as soon as I could, I left, and I went to join the local newspaper, and then I went to a bigger newspaper, and then I went to a bigger newspaper, and then I accepted a job with the Sunday Times in London. I'd hardly ever been to London, I'd only been there twice in my whole life. And they offered me a job on what was then the brand new Insight column, and I accepted it, and I came back to London, met some mates in the pub, and one of them told me that he just got a job as news editor at the local television station, TWW, the ITV station. He said, why don't you come to us instead? So I said, all right. So I told the Sunday Times I wasn't coming to them, and they were very cross, and that was it.
And then you moved to the BBC and covered the Liverpool dock strikes, amongst many other big stories over the years. Which do you think was the most difficult for you to report?
The most difficult story for me that I've ever covered was the Aberfan disaster. I was based in Cardiff, reporting not for the BBC but for HTV, the independent television company, and I got wind that there'd been a tip slide, a coal tip had slid in the Merthyr Vale village, and I went up there, and when I got there, it was the most horrendous sight you've ever seen. The tip had slid down the mountain, and it had crushed part of the village beneath it, and of course the school. And when I got there, there were, I don't know, millions and millions of tons of this filthy waste crushing the school, and the miners were standing on top of it, digging. These were the miners, of course, who'd worked in the Merthyr Vale Quarry, whose work had created that horrible, horrible tip. And they were digging for their own children, and it was the most hideous sight. Their faces were still black because they'd just come up from the colliery, and there were streaks of tears and sweats running down there. Oh, it was absolutely hideous, and you sort of hear every so often they would shout to us to be quiet, because they thought they'd heard a child crying. Sometimes they did, and sometimes they did rescue children, but mostly it was bodies they were digging out, and that went on for some days, and by the end of it there were 116 dead children and 28 dead adults, and I will never ever forget the horror of that, pure horror.
I've been there, and I know what you mean. The graveyard just is a generation, isn't it? It's a generation gone, sadly.
Indeed.
You've been presenting Radio 4 Today programme since 1987. I listened to you this morning, 6 o'clock. How do you do it every day?
By going to bed early. It's very, very simple. People think it's some sort of amazing achievement. It's not. You just go to bed early, and then you can get up early. It is that simple. I'm in bed by 8:30, and if I'm not, there has to be a very, very, very good reason. But I do not go out on the lash the night before. I've given all that up, and at least on the nights before I do the programme, make up for it on the other nights, obviously. But that's it. There's no secret to it. You just go to bed early.
Makes sense. You've been hosting Mastermind since 2003. If you were a contestant on the programme...
No, I'll stop you there, because you're going to ask me, I know everybody always does, what subject would you choose? And the answer is none, because I wouldn't do it. Nothing in the whole wide world would persuade me to sit in that black chair. I would not do it. I would be the sort of contender when they said to you, and your name... I'd say, oh God, hang on, let me think. No, nothing would get me in the black chair.
Fair enough. And what do you think, if you could change anything about your wonderful career, you would change?
I haven't the first idea. I've been phenomenally lucky. That's the truth of it. I mean, it's the thing about journalism. If you're lucky, you do well. If you have the right stories, I mean, for instance, I was sent off to the United States when I was, 27, and I was meant to go for 3 months to open up a bureau. We didn't have a television news bureau in those days in New York, and within days of arriving there, the Watergate story broke. And so for the next 6 years, I didn't stay for 3 months, I stayed for 6 years. That was the biggest story. Of course, it was the biggest story in the world. Great luck, you could argue. Well, of course it was luck. What else was it? I didn't plan the Watergate break-ins. I went to my first foreign story was in East Pakistan because there was trouble with the local people, fighting a lot of other local people. And anyway, the result of that was the Indo-Pakistan War, and I happened to be there when the war broke out. Big story, and I was there on the spot again. Pure luck, nothing to do with me, and so on. Went down to South Africa to open up a bureau down there, and within a matter of months of being there, the president was forced to resign because of a big scandal, and so on and so on. It's being in the right place at the right time, and mostly you can't plan it. So I've been phenomenally lucky. I suppose the only thing I regret never having done in the course of my career is an interview with the Queen, but I have asked her, and she said no, so I suppose that's an end of that, and I don't propose to ask her again.
There's always time, John. I was going to say to you, what are your plans for the future? And maybe that's one of them.
Well, if she's listening and she would like to do it, I'll be around at Buckhouse whenever she says.
Wonderful. I might be in the queue with you there. John Humphrys, thank you very much indeed for your time today.
Great pleasure.
That's the mastermind himself, John Humphrys. A fantastic interview, and I hope you enjoyed that, and also our highlights of the Stanmore Fair. We'll put that up on our website. You can go to our YouTube site to find out more about some of the recent happenings here at Radio Brockley and at the RNOH. Some of our previous editions of Brockley News and Brockley News Extra can be heard there. Plus, you can tune in to Brockley News Extra 5 days a week at midday for another chance to hear some of our recent interviews. Up next on Radio Brockley, it is Bedside Bingo, your chance to win some goodies with David Rauch. Good luck if you're playing along. And then at 8 to 9, all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show with Emma O'Connor. Brockley News returns at the same time next week with more highlights from the Stanmore Village Fete. From me, Alan Joyce. Good night.